Hey guys, we just got the new Element Optics Theos 2-10x42 MPVO. That's right, mid-power variable optic. I'm very excited to show this to you. In this video, we're going to get it out of the box. We're going to put it on our optics test rig so we can quantify its performance. We're going to mount it to a weapon, and of course, we're going to go shooting. Hey guys, Gavin here from UltimateReloader.com. Here on the channel, you've seen plenty of reviews and stories covering element optics on all types of rifles, including the Theos 6-36, which is behind me here. For a PRS style rig, this is one of our absolute all-time favorites. Now we have the Theos 2-10x42. This is going to take things to a different dimension when it comes to that mid-power range and closer quarters engagements. Let's get this out of the box and see what's included. So I've completed the unboxing. Here's what's inside the box. We've got the optic itself with inspection report, which says passed. That's good. We've got an included sunshade. This is a great detail because we almost always use sunshades. We frequently look into the sun when we're shooting up on our ridgeline range. We've got the battery for the illuminated reticle. We've got a small set screw that will basically plug up the hole if we decide to remove the throw lever, which I will not because I always want a throw lever. We've got a hex key tool that's got two sides on it. We've got the thread protector ring for when we want to run in uncapped windage turret mode, like this. It's going to screw right onto these threads and protect those. We've got a collapsible keychain cleaning cloth. We've got a neoprene cover, a lot of nice details here. And then we have the printed materials. This is an overview of the reticle, the owner's manual. This is the lid that has some of the features inside the box. Really, really nice packaging. And then we have the decal if we want to show our pride in Element Optics. So that's what's in the box. What I'm going to do is pick a rifle and we'll get this Theos 2-10 mounted. Well, here it is. I decided to use our recent build. This is an 18-inch Shorty 6.5 Creedmoor build that we did with the McGowan ECM barrel. We just did a story on that ECM process, which is super interesting. And then we've got the Woox Furiosa chassis. This was really fun, and this thing shot really, really well. And I thought because this is such a compact form factor, it'd be the great pairing for the Element Theos 2-10. So that's the rifle. We've got a whole story on the rifle build if you want to check that out separately. Let me quickly run over some features and specs here. So the magnification range is 2-10, as I'm sure you've picked up on. The turrets, these are essentially the same as on the 6-36, which means if you want to set your zero, you can basically change the value, pick up the cap, and then set it back down. Now your zero stop is set. It's all toolless, and they've got these high torque rings on the top, the caps for both windage and elevation that hold them in place. So really easy to reset your zero. Love the toolless design on that. We've got the button over here for the illuminated reticle. We've got parallax adjustment here on the side. One of the things that's different about the Theos 2-10 compared to the 6-36 is there's a detent for 100 yards. So without even looking, you can tell exactly when you hit it. It's very distinct, and then when you go below it. So I love that feature because, you know, if we're at 100 yards, I don't even have to look. We do all of our certification shooting and our sight in at 100 yards. So that's kind of a nice feature to have. This has got the same ED glass that you're going to find on the 6-36. The scope is made in Japan. Super high quality. We have that integrated throw lever, and like I mentioned, there's a set screw that can fill the hole if you don't want to use that. One of the things I noticed just now is we've got these nice reference lines for our diopter adjustment, which means if we've got two different shooters and we know that we want 3 lines exposed for my particular eyeglasses and eyes, I can go right back to that, which is pretty cool as well. So this is an absolute top quality MPVO. And if you're looking at a rig like this, that's a really nice build. Typically you'd find this scope on something like an AR, perhaps. I wanted to do something a little bit different here. It's definitely going to fit in a variety of applications. So another thing that's worth noting is the illuminated reticle. This scope uses diffractive grating technology. The reticle that this comes with is the MPR1D, and this is the MRAD version right here. So we've got the center dot, which is 0.075 MRAD, the floating cross, which is 0.085 MRAD, and then we have half MRAD lines, we've got 1 MRAD lines, numbered hold marks, tapered bars, and the tapered bars are going to help when you go down to lower magnification because it's going to help you center up on that center dot and the floating cross. Of course, if you've got illumination turned on, even during the day, that's going to aid as well. There is a Christmas tree, which I think is nice, because if you do want to take this out to something like, say, 700 yards, which is kind of what the scope is designed for, kind of at the longer ranges, that's going to help quite a bit as well if you need to do something like a combination of elevation and wind hold. So quite a bit of features and functionality packed into this small scope. So here we are. This is one of the 2 rifles that we tested the Theos 2-10x42 on. Lots of fun in both cases. Let's start with our shorter range work that we did. So I've got a Henry X model 3030, and we just did a Woox Bravado fancy line stocks upgrade on it. Absolutely amazing American walnut. And I thought, hey, this will be a great scope. So we did a sight in at 50 yards, nothing too complicated, and then used the scope at lower magnification for some steel targets. Here's some of that fun. So the close quarters work with a lever gun is always fun, but I wanted to see about that 700-yard capability that Element talks about on the product page. So I stopped on our way up the mountain to do a 100-yard sight-in. Very smooth and seamless process. We've got the toolless adjustment with the thumb wheels on the elevation and windage turrets. That makes it really, really fast and easy to get sight-ins done and to utilize the built-in zero stop and get everything ready to roll. Super, super quick, super easy process. So we drove the rest of the way up the mountain and did a couple different scenarios at the ridgeline. The first was 335 yards on a small rock chuck sized target. No problem there. My real question was that 700-yard scenario. So I spun the rifle around, lined everything up, calculated my dope, and took some shots. I have to say, no problem at all. I had to hold a little bit off the left side of the target due to some wind, but it was pretty easy to hit this target shot after shot after shot. And 10 power magnification at 700 yards, no problem at all. So a scope test at Ultimate Reloader would not be complete without putting this Theos 2-10x42 on our optics test rig. The optics test rig is a fixture that I designed and fabricated. It allows us to line up a camera behind the scope and to make adjustments down to less than 1/1000th of an inch if we need to. So we got everything all aligned. We got our calibrated 100-yard mill target set up. Everything was perfectly level, and I'll have to say the reticle on this scope is perfectly aligned. That's a great starting point. Went on to our tracking test where we go up 3 mils, down 3 mils, left 3 mils, and right 3 mils, and everything lined up perfect. This is literally potentially the best test that we've done. The Theos 6-36 did awesome, and so did this one. And it's always great to see those tracking tests aligning perfectly. That means that your shots are going to be placed with precision, and you're not going to have to worry about the drift error that you get with some of the turrets on inferior scopes. So then we did a parallax test, which is always interesting. We moved the camera 50 thousandths to the left, 50 thousandths to the right, and back to center. And I saw basically no parallax error, i.e. the aiming dot did not move left or right. That's exactly what we want to see. So when you put the scope in the detent, I'm going to put it back here to the detent, at 100 yards, you know that your parallax is going to be spot on. And in our testing with the 6-36, we found that to be true at other magnifications as well. So in addition, I ran the scope through the powers. You can see that footage here, just so that you can see what it looks like to look through the scope with different magnification settings. Now, I will note this is not a good indicator of the optics quality for the scope, because whenever we put a camera behind the scope, we're inducing a lot of additional diffraction, and the optics just don't look nearly as good through the camera as they do with the naked eye. Finally, distortion. Basically, no barrel distortion or pincushion distortion. Everything lined up really, really well. So this scope gets an A+ on the optics test rig. So in the end, I'm going to have to say, if you're looking for a mid-power variable optic, the Theos 2-10 from Element is definitely worth consideration. This would be good for a rifle like this, a bolt-action rifle that you're going to use out to 700, maybe even 1,000 yards. It'd be great for a lever gun, like what we showed with our Henry X model test. It'd also be perfect for an AR, doing tactical type shooting. The quality is there. It's a very comprehensive set of equipment that you get with the scope. And as always with Element, we get really top-notch quality. What I'd like to know is, what do you think of the Element Theos 2-10x42? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think of this scope in the comments section. And if you do have one, let us know what you're using it for. What kind of a rifle do you have it on, and what kind of shooting are you doing? Again, we'll see you there in the comments section. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.